Hi, this is JR. It is April 6th, 2010, and I'm going to be sharing with you A Curious Courage, which is a presentation or a composition that I wrote April 5th, 2009, a year ago. I'm going to see how quickly I can have the text come up here so I can share it with you. Responding with a curious courage to recent financial developments. So, just to give a little context, from the late 2007 to early 2009, there was a very big drop in the stock market prices of the U.S. and other developed nations. There was huge declines in commodities prices of silver and oil and most commodities. And also big declines in housing prices, a number of issues with lending markets and real estate markets, as I forecast since early 2003. But just to repeat the context of April 2009 when I wrote this. Recent financial developments, some of which may, if you watch this in May of 2010 or June of 2010, you may find that some of those prior developments have resumed. So quickly, let's be clear what it does and does not mean to respond with a curious courage. I wonder if you can recall a time when you were not just already curious, but when your curiosity then led you to perceive a risk or danger that you only could have directly recognized through your own exploring, as in curiosity. And then, after the discovery that you just made, you courageously redirected your behavior away from the perceived risk and toward a valuable opportunity that, again, you only discovered through the practice of curiosity. It began with fear or perception of risk or danger. And curiosity then explored courageously, and learning happened. So let's call the time of that learning process now. In contrast, what a curious courage does not mean is this: to identify how reality should have been, whether or not it was. Then, when some pattern of reality did not fit with how it allegedly should have been, then to identify that pattern of reality as having been a problem. And then choose not to take any new initiative toward personal responsibility for one's own future, but instead focus anger on whoever was convenient to blame for that problematic reality. And finally, identify whoever first provided you someone to blame for that problematic reality as the one to blindly rely on to almost fix that problem reality next, since reality may persistently thwart reactive efforts to fix it by first blaming someone else for why it was not how it should have been, according to whoever denied that reality should be, however reality actually already is. That is some of the most convoluted writing that I've done, but if you can get through it, it says exactly what I meant to say. As I'm reading it, I think of let's say Pearl Harbor or September 11th, 2001. Where there's some surprise, someone tells us who to blame, and we then go, oh, now we know who to blame. So the person who told us who to blame, that must be someone on our side. That must be someone who's got our own interests at heart, that shares our interests with us. Because they told us who to blame. I went, what could be more relevant than knowing who to blame? Of course, I imply identifying what would be a responsible personal adjustment to make as a possible anything more relevant than the question of who to blame. So, that's what a curious courage is and what a curious courage is not. Now, with a curious courage, we could be asking, how did this particular apparent reality develop? Yet with a specific concern for one's own prior practices and the resulting effects produced from one's own prior practices. That personal identification of one's own prior practices as the primary issue related to the results produced by those practices is what may take courage. I'm going to pause here. There's a picture of a house with made of dollar bills there. I'm going to pause the video.